which means any questions towards what I'm doing, feel free. Any trolls, you have two options. You can either shut the hell up or just get the fuck out. Don't waste my time asking your dumbass question. We're focused on what's in front of us. And I don't care if you have a hammer, I will probably ban you. Yeah, I don't care. It's not like, I'm not gonna say, I'm like, oh no, you shouldn't have banned him. Like, no. Language. Yeah, I love Cool Kid, man. Shout out to Cool Kid. Thanks for being here, King. Appreciate you. But so the things I'm gonna go over basically are, you play fighting games typically from close range, mid range, full screen, far range, right? In the air, in this game, we have super jump height, normal jump height, right? And Vegito has options at every single range that I just mentioned to basically formulate offense, to defend yourself, and everything like that. And it's important to know what all of those options are. No problem, man. So we're gonna start really here, close range, right? Now, despite what you might think, Vegito is not good here. He's not good here. He does not want to be directly in somebody's face ever. There's one very simple reason for that. As good as that move is, it's still 7 frames. As good as it is still 7 frames. The move is very good, but you don't want to be here at all. When you're going to be using 5L, you want to be here. Even sometimes you can be here because you have that option also. And this has priority because it's a medium starter. Right? So being here, so like after you block a 6M or something, your turn is, you don't have a turn yet. So you definitely want to chill. And like if they have like a string that leaves you like in front of their face or with, like with assists and everything like that, it's a little rough. So you just want to like really be extra careful and patient. Try and put yourself always here before you just go ham with 5L, you know, things like that. Because then you don't want to have to potentially waste vanish if they catch this before 5LL comes out and all that kind of stuff. You know, you don't want to really go through that kind of ordeal because it doesn't necessarily favor you as high as the damage is, because you're just more likely to get hit. Alright, so using 5L, it seems brain dead. At a lower level, it is not brain dead. I mean, at a lower level, it is pretty brain dead because people don't really know how to stagger, don't know how to challenge, don't know how to approach a move like this. So you can pretty much get away with it often, right? But when you run into somebody that knows how to make this button whiff all over the place, you're gonna have a bad time if you keep just spamming 5L. There is no maintenance today. I'm doing this because happy Monday. But as I said, 5L range, max range is ideal. Max range is ideal. Now, if they block the 5L, we can go into like a little bit of pressure regarding a block 5L. Alright, so I'm gonna put them on guard all. Let's say even like Kid Boo, right? If they block this at far range, look at where you're at, right? You are heavily in control of the stagger situation because you have that, you have stop and do it again, right? Let's say he does do his 6 frame, right? Any button that he presses here that's not a medium will whiff. And if you time it fast enough, you get your clean whiff punish, right? You can't do that here. So once you stop here and he tries to challenge you, you lost it. Then that means you have to commit a different way. And if they're just patient, you're going to lose your turn eventually. So you want to keep this layer of stagger. Basically, it's near risk-free in higher level situations. And then if you have a good assist too, while they're waiting for this, right? Because like 5L being 4 hits they're just gonna really wait till it's over. However, you also have the option for like if you have like an assist. Since I play Jiren, I can do something like this because it's heavy lockdown. They won't challenge here. Like they're gonna wait for you, right? They're gonna wait till that's over. So you can sneak in a very free super dash mix, right? Because I can cancel the first hit. I can cancel the second hit. Right? He does have reverse beat. Yeah, I'm gonna get into that in a second. I can cancel any of the 4 hits into a special move, into super dash, anything like that, right? And if you have a good assist to use super dash mix, you know, you can do like shit like that. So maintaining the space though is definitely important. I never try and just like 5L here because like it assures that I'm just going to keep pressuring you either with Dragon Rush because I really don't have like much else, or I just continue my string and shit. Alright, so ideally space yourself out to make basically every jab in the game with, unless you're Broly, fuck that character, right? Just commit to the string always against higher against basically like longer range jabs and shit. So now here at this range you also have 2M too, right? You have 2M because it's unsafe naturally. You do have to commit to another option, right? You do have to commit to another button because you don't want to just let this rock by itself. So from here you have 2 options, or basically 3, because you can go into heavy also. So what I like to do is reverse beat because it'll catch jabs, right? It'll catch jabs, and then I still have access to my 5L too, right? So if I do this to jab, he's caught. That's a medium starter. That's a medium starter. You can go into S, yeah. You can go into S. But typically I just go into either 5H or 2L, and the other one is 5M too, because that's the true string. So you have this option, right? I hit a max range slide. That's a true string. I can stop. I can stop here, but I can also still reverse beat and catch his jab. Here, I can wait and go right back into a full string too. Alright, so when you land a 2M, typically to confirm it, I would usually go into the 5M and use what happens there to determine what I want to do. Because he got hit, I'm going to confirm, get my combo or whatever, right? But then he didn't get hit, so now I can go into 2L. No, it's not just Kid Buu. It's pretty much anybody. Pretty much anybody. That's not like that's not Broly's, because they have like far jabs and stuff like that. So again, like this is pretty much for anybody without like a far jab. Because Vegito will get hit too. Right, so now I can hit confirm. Right, and then corner carry. Everything is always going to be corner carry. You're going to push them to the corner no matter what. Right, your Oki is not like amazing. We're not really going over that right now. Your Oki is not amazing, but your reward is nearly always the corner. And because you have the corner, depending on your assists available, depending on your meter and everything like that, it's still a huge profit. So 2M 5M is a really good string because you just hit confirm it. You can stop there. Jabs will whiff. Right, I think the 5M, let me see how minus it is on block. I think it's like -5 or something. Yeah, -5. But then you also have the 2L option, right? Because the 2L option will catch not only jabs, but it'll catch mediums also. Anything basically. Right? Except like a vanish. Right? So this is the same range again that you can play 5L also, which is your faster option, right? But you also have 2L also. 5M goes very far too, and you see it max range -1. You can make it -1 0. You can make it 5M 0. They're not gonna press a jab here. But look at that. A -1, potentially 0. My 5L will still be in range. And then you can hit confirm that. You can hit confirm that always. So this is Vegito's best range. This is easily Vegito's best range. You have many different buttons that hit. We have many different buttons that hit. And then we can still back up, defend ourselves. Right? You have 2M. 2L also reaches here. And it's a medium starter too. You can go straight into 5LL. Right? And continue your pressure. Basically like that. But this is always the range you want to play. Again, you don't want to be here. You don't want to be here because you won't be able to stagger this as well. Because you're always in range for jabs to hit you. You're always in range for jabs to hit you, for even mediums to hit you, because your 5L is -5. Alright. So let me do something real quick, guys, because I definitely forgot to edit my title. That's all I gotta do. Okay. So, like I said again, this ideal range, and then you also have 236S, which is fireballs. You can IAD back 236S, right? And you have access to whichever range you pretty much want to play, right? Even if you want to go in and you have the right assist, you know, you can do things like that. And remember what I said, you can cancel any hit of the 5L into a super dash. So if you have a really good assist, like since I have Jiren, I can do super dash mix. That'll be much harder to deal with because they're waiting for the whole string to miss, like for the whole string to finish. So we're gonna go to 236S because that move is pretty interesting. I'll show you different ways how to use it. So I'm gonna have him on super dash. Alright. So 236S for some characters can be very annoying to deal with. Right? Even like in the air. Even in the air, like but on the ground too, it can be pretty annoying to deal with. Because you have that option. You can react to any super dash pretty much with a level 3. Anytime you see it, even if they do it like a little early, which would be like hard for me to, let me see. Even if they do it like a little early, you still have access to doing a level 3 always out of it. And if you land it on the ground, then even better. I hit him out of his super dash there. Wow, I did it again. Okay. Oh, I know why. He's definitely just not blocking. Hold on. Let me see the time. And then you'll always get a free 2H. You can get a free level 3. The only way for them to actually answer that back is if they preemptively super dash and catch you in the middle of your startup. That's the only way. You can level 1, but it's definitely too risky, and I would definitely advise against it. If you don't have the timing for level 3 or a 2H, just block. You're definitely just block. You're still safe, but because level 1 comes with startup and no invincibility, you'll likely get hit out of it. So I don't advise doing that. But the 236S game is one of the most important parts too, because you basically set up your opponent to be in a situation where like they're very frustrated and annoyed and they want a super dash. And since my team, I have Bardock B, I can do something like this. If they super dash, they will get smoked. I can still run up and get a conversion and shit like that. Do whatever I want. If they block it and they're not gonna super dash, then I have a free in and I will use it. And I can do things like that to get my hit. So his mixes and his pressure is not gonna be like the most conventional. How he gets the hit will never really be like a normal kind of character. But your reward is always there. You get the corner. You shut down mechanics of the game pretty well. So it's really good. And then so 236S, you can use also. There's many ways to use this move, right? So the worst one is throwing it on the ground like that. It has the most startup. That's 35. That's 31. Right? You could even use it like during pressure and stuff like that. Right? But let's say you're like here. If you do that, right? Not only you're plus in their face, but they also just still have to guess again. Like if they can reflect, they can super dash. But you have strings and you have ways to beat both options. You can throw or anything like that, and that's the most plus. Like you're gonna be plus 12, or anything like that. And even full screen, you see I'm plus 20. Plus 20 full screen is good because it makes things like that really difficult to deal with. If you don't move correctly, he basically always has to retreat because you can run up 5L. And then when you run up 5L here, you're going to be in the range that I told you should be in. And then you can start your stagger pressure. Things like that. The other ways you can use 236S is with a TK input, which is, it'll be 2369S. Alright, so let me put my inputs on. Alright, so this changes how Vegito is going to float. It changes how he's going to float, how he's going to move in the air. You see how, like, if I do it as a super jump, I keep my float property, but I also still have my double jump too. I also still have my double jump, and I still have my air dash. As long as I don't double jump and stuff like that. Alright, so you have a lot of options like this, right? You can't get that from doing the grounded one. So, TKing it, and it's also 1 frame faster too. So you can do a lot of shit like that. And you probably get like 3 or 4. Let's say I double jump here. You know? And all of this, it's annoying, right? You're not chipping out your opponent, but like, you probably sniped their assist by now, right? Or like they're getting like very slightly chipped and whatever, but they're getting annoyed because they can't hit you, and they want to super dash you. And that's where being able to level 3 those super dashes and stuff would really come in. That's where those would really come in always. They got sniped, they lost 4.1k, and do they really want to super dash again? Or are they gonna just let you run? They're just gonna let you run this shit like they should. Alright? And this is better at this range at full screen because it's easier for you to see the super dash. 236S is harder to use as you get closer because the startup is still, you know, it's still a little slow. So when they super dash, then they might catch your recovery up close. But learning this is really important too. And you can also do 2367, which is harder, but that means super jump back like that. So you can get a retreating 236S. You could do 8. It's a little hard. So that way you're not always advancing forward, because you don't always want to advance forward. I gotta clean up my inputs, bro. But you guys get the point. I did it for the first time. But I kind of want to know who you don't like fighting when you have Vegito on point. I'll get to that in a bit. I got you. Yeah, so you could do jump back. And remember, you maintain your double jump. You also maintain your float, your fast fall, and things like that. So you have really good options to just mix up how you move right after you do 236, like a TK'd 236S. And so let's say you're here, run up, 236H. That was a legitimate like frame trap that they just like can't really do shit about. You could even do M from certain ranges, right? And this move is broken. We're gonna get to this move in a bit. But all of these frame trapped them. Can you convert a combo up close? No, because they recover too fast. You can do that. That's the only one you can really like convert. But otherwise, not really. Maybe you can get like an air grab. Yeah, you can get like an air grab. But that's pretty much it. And then you get vanish confirm also. So you get something. You definitely get something. But you're not always looking to convert it. You want to bait them into doing something stupid. That's pretty much what this is. And knowing your frame advantage is knowing your frame advantage at which ranges you're at what heights you're at is very important too. You get the most frame advantage when you're that low to the ground. So like the last fireball hits, like that, plus 22. So like look at how it could be, right? I'm gonna set him to jab or some shit, like on counter hit. That was like a legit frame trap. I'll probably even do medium. Well, medium is slower. But that'll just catch your button or anything that you're trying to do. So if they up back, it'll probably catch that too. You're telling me I can't put that's OD. I can go down, down back, down forward, but not up back or up forward. You hate to see it. Alright. We're just doing it like that. Set them to up and block. Oh, okay. I just did this old school way. But their up back just got punished. Right? If it didn't, and if they get hit by that, they just lost 70% or 60%. I could have did a better combo, but and typically I play Vegito in Anchor, so they would have definitely lost like 80% or some shit. Right? So using 236S as a pressure tool, shit is very, very good. So the idea of 236S is to put your opponent in a situation where they give up neutral due to frustration, or if you're closer, you can keep them in Vegito's optimal range. Yeah. That's a really good articulated question. I'm not used to this. The fuck? People be asking me some weird shit. But yes, that's the way that I like to use 236S. I'm still learning a lot more ways to use it. The TK input is the one that's the most important to know, because and it's super jump TK. So like if I do this, I'm only at normal jump height. Alright, so you don't really want that one. You want the super jump. You want the super jump TK. Yeah, and that was very good because you can keep doing it. Alright, you can keep doing it until they finally cracked super dash and shit. Once they crack, then you pretty much just have them, you know? You always want to make somebody crack in a match, because once that frustration sets in, ain't nothing gonna go right for them. And Vegito does a really good job of that at the ranges he plays. Yeah, and then since I have Bardock, you also gotta worry about Bardock and shit like that. Even here, like, look at that. Like, he's just stuck. That's the idea. Just get them stuck. Get them stuck. Alright. That move is fun. I really like 236S. It's harder online, by the way, to react, but this isn't really about that. So I mean, you just gotta just keep practicing it. If you hold forward, if you hold dash forward 236S, doing it while floating, like that. Oh yeah, you'll still fall down pretty fast. So you're still plus, just not as much though. You'll still fall down pretty fast. Alright. So again, that's really what you want to do at this range. A lot of 236S, be annoying, right? You don't always have to fucking run up 5L. You don't gotta be a dumbass like that, right? Now, I'm gonna take my teammates off while I explain some things. Alright, so you see most of the time I have Vegito anchor, right? Vegito with meter is pretty dangerous, but he also, it's like he uses meter too, like he uses it a lot because he has to vanish to end his combos and shit like that. When you're playing him anchor, you're really just trying to cash out as much as you can. Alright, so if you randomly get hit by this, it's 65%. They lost 65%. Hopefully you're not in a situation where it's like some crazy ass 3v1 where we gotta micromanage a lot of things. Alright, but this is typically you're acing the whole hit that will start your comeback, or a 2M, right? Because limit break damage is much higher. EX legs goes very far, right? And the second hit is not that slow either. But 13 frames from about right here. Let me see. I think it's about right here. Yeah. 13 frames from about right there is very fucking fast. And if you catch them up backing or anything like that, moving suddenly, they will get hit. The other good thing about this is it costs half a bar now because season 3. It's also the range that you're left at, right? You're at a range where you could definitely just do this again most of the time. They have to stop it with like a medium, right? So let's say pressing jab or whatever for some reason, right? They have to stop it with like a medium. Wow, Vegito's is not that great for that. Let me see. Let me see his 2M. How do I get somebody to 2M on this shit? Oh, okay. I got it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so most of the time characters have to use like a medium or a higher priority button to be able to stop you from doing this. The problem with that is that you can also just chill. You don't always have to just like keep going ham and shit. You know, sometimes it's okay to do that because it makes the situation pretty scary for everyone, because they know they can't get hit by that because they're gonna lose 65% of their life. Right? Nobody wants that to happen. That's not even with Spark or anything like that. Right? Nobody wants that to happen. But it makes it scary because like sometimes I get in those modes where I'll just do this shit over and over and over again until you fucking get hit. Alright? Especially if I see you're like way more timid on defense. But I also have this option to just wait the second I see a button and literally take the same, pretty much the same amount of life. So characters with better ki blasts. So that's also why Vegeta's here too, because I'm getting that in. Characters with typically better ki blasts, and like let's say like a Bardock that has like EX Lariat and stuff like that. Those moves will be able to stop that very well. And then like you'll have to like chill, backdash and stuff like that. So those kind of moves. Kid Boo's is good too. So if I have him on, he can always just stop me. He can like rapid fire this shit. Let me see. Yeah, so the rapid fire, you get it confirmed and stuff like that. So for that, I have to jump, be ready, things like that. Not every character has those options. So, and sometimes like if I catch Vegeta in the air and he tries to do that, it changes because his ki blast is different. Oops. Let me put him in a super jump, might be easier to show. Oh no, I can't even put him in super jump. Yeah, I can't even put him in super jump. But if I catch him in the air, it's definitely a little bit different. I'm getting to that too also. This is just like grounded stuff. But EX Legs is definitely a really strong tool. And again, it also plays into this this idea that Vegito's best range is pretty much round start. Because of where I'm at. I'm pretty much at max range for that, right? I still have 2M, 2L, things like that, 5M. So it all plays in together to that notion. And if they're cornered, it's harder to use it, so you definitely want to be careful for multiple reasons, right? You will not get pushed back that far, right? So if you use this and they're cornered and you try to get like, just try to hit them, the same with any of the legs too. Medium legs, except that you lost your turn and it's okay. Don't try and vanish, because if you vanish, they can reflect. Yeah, if you vanish, they can reflect and punish you, or characters with a DP or level 3, they can punish you also. So you definitely want to be careful. You're safe on reflect for the most part. -11, yeah. Relatively safe, but you don't really want to go through with that. But again, this is really the range that you want to be always when you're on the ground. You can get like a lot of random hits when you're by yourself. You shit damage, and a lot of it will come from that range. In the corner, you get punished a lot by 2Ms. Yeah, basically. You want to accept really that your turn is just gone after you did legs from there. But mid-screen, you're pretty much good. Just always assess the situation. Like, what are they doing to follow up after they block this? Right? Knowing that I'm in range for that, what is their answer? And that's pretty much how you want to use that tool, because it does a lot of damage. So, it does a lot of damage. Even the medium one, the medium you have to vanish though. So I have my whole team, that'll do less. Otherwise, I would have did like around closer to 4K, maybe. All right. That's pretty much it for Vegito on the ground. You got other good things too, like 2S. I don't use like that because it's too slow, in my opinion. Alright, let's see. It's 20 frames. 20 frames. My 2H is 16. And this isn't like some anti-air shit, you know? Because it's too slow. However, if you do have Vegito on point and a good assist, so I was showing this like yesterday. Let's do Jiren B, right? So like, if I have Vegito on point and I have Jiren B, this round start is something that'll be very difficult for them to deal with, because you're covering jump range and then you're covering everything that doesn't like have them retreating. So like them advancing on you is very dangerous. But otherwise, I don't typically use this that much. It's just to call out like a lot of shit. I can show that, but it's not really a part of this with 2H in the corner. But yeah, and then you have 6S, 5S. You know, if 6S goes further, there's two different ones. 5S hits close to you. They both get super dash through though, so you want to be careful. All right. Nothing like really like a true string. That's why I don't use like these kind of tools like that. I stick to his buttons. His buttons are really strong. But let me take them off reflect. But just to recap before we move into like air mobility and stuff like that and air options. Your range is here to here. Don't want to be here. You can play here, but your purpose is different. Right? You're here, it's harder to stagger because they can challenge you with lights and it's a little bit different. Right? However, if you're here, most of the cast does not have a button, like a light button that will reach that far, and you gain like extra mind game in your stagger pressure. Because you can do 5L, you can do 5L again, 5LL, 5L2M, things like that. Alright. And little things to go over too, since we're here. Let me put him back on Vanish. Alright. Counter attack, yeah. Okay. I mean, reflect. It's because it's going to go into the next portion of this. But 2L into Vanish is a true block string. Alright? 2L into Vanish is a true block string. Which means if you ever need to reset your turn, but you want to maintain plus frames, you can if you choose to spend the bar. So sometimes you're going to reset a string with 2L, and then you can Vanish and keep yourself going as well. And that's good for a lot of things. You can, yeah. You can do that. This is a string that I use, but they can reflect super dash and stuff like that. I just have to react really to it. Alright, so that's pretty much good for Vegito on the ground. And then all the 2-3-6S stuff, there was a lot on that move, so you definitely want to practice super jump TK, because that'll really help your movement a lot and your mobility. Alright, so going into the air, since this puts you in the air, you can get around the screen with EX legs and stuff like that. And if you have a strong assist, sometimes you can trap them, right, if they're not like already chasing you and things like that. I use this a lot to get around the screen. Also because if they just randomly get hit, you can definitely just convert it, right? I'm gonna have him record super jump. Let me see. Yeah. So like here, I'm using like a lot of 2-3-6S, right? So he's jumping over it, sure, right? But wow, I'm random. I could definitely just do that. I was way too far, and that is tragic. But 236H helps you move around the screen a lot. And then you'll get a small conversion just from randomly hitting them too. Alright. If you're closer to the corner, you get a better conversion. If you already used your double jump or your air dash, just go for the Dragon Rush Ender. Because the point really is just for you to just keep this annoying, get the fuck away from people. If you're in the corner, you can peace out. Wow, I'm full screen. That's crazy. They have to chase you. And if they chase you and you have level 3 or some shit, dead. You know? And then you could chill there. Right? If you do it with super jump, you can keep your float. Right? Keep your double jump, float, fast fall, and everything like that. Those kind of movement options help you just understand how your opponent is going to continue to approach you. You know? So you can definitely just peace out of the corner. Alright? I can do some shit like this if I want. You know? Air S is good. Air S is very good. Right? I can peace out like that if I want. You can't cancel into whiff level 3. No. But it recovers so fast. Look at how fast like I'm able to move after this. It recovers really fast. And that's a combination of the startup and recovery. Like, you see how medium legs is minus 48. Alright, EX legs, you got an extra 5 frames. So, it's good to just move around the screen with. He had these options last season, but the problem is last season, it cost a full bar. And that's a lot of resources, Vegito. A lot of resources, Vegito, because he doesn't build as much bar as some other characters. So spending a whole bar to escape, sometimes it might cost you in some other situations. But now spending half a bar just to get the hell out is more than okay. The other thing is, when you're up here, you have this long ass fucking sword that clips them pretty much off the screen. Alright? I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna put Vegito on the other side so I can show you how to properly use this move. I still even haven't like fully adapted this yet. But Air S is one of the better moves that he has because you get free conversion, right? And 2S into Vanish. JS into Vanish is also a true block string, which I think is incredibly strong because I can just pretty much be on the ground. So let me show you real quick before okay. So he's set to reflect, right? So 2S to Vanish. JS into Vanish. True string, right? If it hits, you can get the confirm. That is not a true string, however. So you can do it into Vanish, right? But what you actually want to do with this move, you want to always option select it, right? So I'm gonna have the inputs on in a second. Alright, so I have him doing it to me. Alright. So it's his turn. That was a true string. Now let's say I get hit. Then I still get a full combo on hit. Alright. This is gonna be probably the best way for anybody to use Air S. So my inputs are, you do ugly. Hold on. You do immediate Vanish and then immediate super dash after. Right? So no matter what, you're always gonna be safe. The only way won't be safe, it has to whiff. It has to whiff and then you're smoked. But don't whiff. The hell? Just don't whiff. You know the range that is going to be, right? If you can identify fast enough that you whiffed also, you can be a little careful. But look at how far this goes. That's a true block string. And a free confirm. Like, one good thing to do sometimes, you can just do shit like that, right? You can catch people pressing buttons and shit. Right? You can catch 2Ms that hit like right there. And that shit is lit. Alright, so now I'm going to put him on random block. So you guys can see that you can actually practice this. And you can always practice this. Random block is definitely your best friend. It's not difficult when you get like the input down. Right? It's definitely not difficult at all. It's weird for me because I don't have a vanish button, so I'm just doing both inputs manually. Probably so much easier for like pad players and shit too. And it'll always come out like that. Always. So you just want to do vanish first and then super dash. Alright, so always make that safe. Keep your pressure going, however you feel like. And that's pretty much how you're ever going to use that move, right? It has a fixed hitbox, a fixed range, but it's very high up. Very, very high up. Right, you can do like fake cross-ups with it too. So like when you're at frame advantage from vanish, people will do a number of things to Vegito, right? But most of the time they're gonna sit there. Sometimes they'll backdash because post vanish you can backdash 5L now. Rest in peace. Right? So you can backdash that, right? But sometimes you could chase and do shit like that. You could link EX grab, but you won't get anything. Unless Vegito's back is towards the ground. I mean towards the corner. So like if I'm cornered and I land it like there, then I can get a combo. So to the person that asked me extension, right, I'm gonna keep them on random because it's usually the best way to train, having them on random block, right? So you have to be at a certain height to get that conversion. Damn. I reversed the assist. But if I do the option select right, I'm rewarded with the corner. Just in case they block. That's just hard on Vegito. And all that from an option selected JS that would have put me at +2 and gave me the corner if you blocked it. So incredibly strong. Of course, you can't 2H this because it has beam properties. So it's also good like for like spark mix-ups and stuff like that. But sometimes you could do like 2L, like 2L vanish, go right into that because they can't 2H you. It'll just always lose. Oh, I still have them on random. I gotta take them off now. Two H will always lose there. And then that's your reward for OSing that all the time. That's one of the things I think everyone should practice more, including myself. Is getting the option select from the JS. I land this move a lot. I land JS a lot, catching a lot of buttons. But sometimes people are actually chilling, and then I'm in a situation where like I'm falling, right? And Vegito has a really good 2H for like that kind of height. But sometimes you find yourself in a situation where like you really gotta just like chill. You can't do anything. So that's like minus 16. So I gotta peace out no matter what. I have to peace out. But then look at that. So like you can also just peace out there, right? And then that's insanely plus. So that way I can keep pressure going also. You know? So this move is pretty pivotal, I think. You definitely want to learn how to use it that way. That's what you don't want. You don't want to hit that dead zone. You're going to get smoked. All they have to do is super dash at you for it. And they're going to catch all that recovery. Or they could, if they're woke, they could jump up and get like a heavy. Because the active frames are done already. The active frames are done already. So, use that wisely. It has a lot of range. But, yeah. That's pretty much the extent of how, like, Vegito's neutral, in my opinion, is played. He has, like I said initially, a lot of unorthodox tools, but when you put them all together and you look past just like, oh wow, he has a really strong 5L, but it's also pretty weak here, but it's so much better here, and things like that. So when you learn those kind of things, you'll see a lot more success in your hit ratio with Vegito. So I'm gonna leave the floor open for 2 minutes for anybody with questions. Give you guys like 1 or 2 minutes, but I do want to thank you guys that did tune in. I hope you got something out of this. I did not plan to make it like anything long or drawn out. Just try to get straight to the point on how I do things, because that's pretty much what I'm going to give you. I'm going to show you how I use the tools, how I think they should be used, or even sometimes how I can use something better. But that's pretty much it. Like a lot of people complain about like 5L being what it is. There's a lot more to Vegito than just a single button, and most Vegitos will lose because they can't really just look past that. So, you know, shout out to like Subatomic Sabers. This is very good. I enjoy watching his Vegito. Childish Vegito, super optimal combos and stuff. So if you combine optimal combos with these kind of tools, and Vegito is dangerous. You combine optimal combos with those tools, Vegito is very dangerous. How do I feel about the split finger combos? Never seen you do them. Sure you know about them. I don't care for them like that. Character specific combos to me most of the time are not tournament combos. Vegito is trash for now. And you can always ask me anything too, you guys. Anybody can ask me anything at any point. But that's the extent of that. Let me just highlight this so just so I have it. It will be on YouTube, guys, within the next 2 days. I'm just gonna look for like a really cool thumbnail and then be out here. But if anybody has any questions throughout the night, also just feel free to just write in the chat. Oh, so like if you use that in a block string, it's really good in a block string. Sometimes it has to be the air one. The air one is what you want. So like that one's like a little better, but you want it from like an IAD instead. So when you get it there, you can have them on reflect, right? If you time it right, let me see. That's pretty much an anti-reflect string. So they have to double reflect, otherwise you kind of just stay in there. Same thing with 5M too. You know. You can do cool shit like that. They also have the option to super dash too. Alright, so I think 2M works here. Yeah, 2M works there. Thoughts on whiff 214, the end of block strings? I don't like doing it because of the recovery. I think the recovery kind of sucks. 2M beats reflect and super dash. If you see that they reflected, to keep your pressure, you would have to do a delayed 5M, I think. Or, no, not that. You have to do a 2L there, basically. But 2M will beat super dash also. And then they can't press a button, you're 2+. This isn't really like, I didn't go over parry like that because it's not a full-on guide for Vegito. This was mainly like how to actually hit somebody given like your tool, like some of your tool set. But you want to use parry when you're like 0 on block against 6 framers. Let's say like after a 6M or like after a vanish, parry is fine to do. You could also catch super dashes with it and things like that. But I didn't really go too like in depth on parry. You can, yeah, but like look at how long that shit takes. That's why I don't like it. You would need an assist with like some really solid block stun. In order to really use that well. So like Kibu, Gotenks, Jiren and Bardock were okay with that. But sometimes like the range, you don't really get much for it for me. Yeah, basically Captain Cold. Because then that allows for turn steals and shit. Using parry initiates, like it gives you, it makes it, you have an easier time to steal turns from people. My favorite matchup for Vegito. That's a good one. Let me see. It's likely SSJ Vegeta is really fun. I think Vegito does pretty well. It's like an even matchup, but I like playing it. We gotta think quite a bit in the neutral in that match, I think. Teen Gohan's another one. Janemba's fun too. Janemba, Kefla, Bardock. Those matchups are pretty fun. Vegito doesn't lose them. Jiren probably loses to Vegito, but it's not a matchup I played too often on the Jiren side to really know. But Vegito, he does really well against most of the cast. If you have stubby buttons, you probably don't do that well, or you have to use like your Ki Blast and stuff a lot. He does really well against Adult Gohan too. Yeah, the 21 is weird, but in that matchup you want to do more 236S also. That one you gotta play the air game a bit more, I think, because she does really well on the ground. So in the air, like either JS range or playing full screen and doing 236S a bit. Yeah, it'll be beneficial. But yeah, I'm gonna close out this portion of the stream. We're not going anywhere, guys, but I'm gonna run a quick ad while I set up one more time. So thank you guys again. I hope you guys got something out of this. Within the next 2 days, it will be on YouTube.